Hi everybody, it's Julie, and I have my flip through of my July scraps, shapes, and shipping junk journal challenge. So we were using shapes, we were using up scraps, all different ways, and we also anything that had to do with shipping you were able to use in your journal. The details video for the challenge is in the description box down below. Don't forget, we do a challenge here each month. A brand new one will start on August 1st. Our diamond, emerald, pearl, topaz, golden, and crown jewel Patreons, they're going to get their sneak peek of the August challenge on Sunday. Okay, and then they also get early entry into the group, and they actually get to go ahead and start their August project. It is their big perk. They are excited. I'm excited. So this is my challenge journal for July. I finished it on time, actually early, and I'm so excited. So I have a beautiful dangle that I made for this one. One of the requirements was the charms using each of the shapes. So I had used a long strip of paper. So long strip was one of our things, and I made this little booklet. It has Izzy watercolor at the beach from the watercolor. Actually, this is from the Friday freebie. I made the charms on the Friday freebie. This is an earring, and I put it in there like Treasure Books had shown in a video earlier this month. I used, this was a charm from a bracelet, and I have one of the images from the Friday freebie in there. I did take and put one of the rectangle, one around here. So this was the square, rectangle, long strip. This was the round. I used the earring and added a ticket and images, and then from the Friday freebie, I added Jeff on the oval. Okay, so I also had pieces from Broken Jewelry. We were able to use any metal this time. So hoping that people could go ahead and pull out things that they hadn't used before. I have a bracelet in here that I took apart. There's a piece here and a piece up at the top. You'll see there was a flip-flop. This was on a shoe bracelet. I have pressed eyelets. This is from a necklace. Let's see what else. This was an earring, and I straightened it out. So right here you can see that, you know, that part of the earring, and then I twisted and twirled it, and then this was part of a necklace and an earring here. And then this shell with the pearl on it, that was from a bracelet also. Okay, so that is my dangle, and because I was able to add metal, I added this here. So this month I used a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. I have 2 signatures. I have over 60 pages. I think it was 80. My cover, our covers had to have the 5 items when we were making the cover. So my rectangle was my book. You guys, I actually don't remember what was what making it, but this is my cover. I used the Never Ending fabric. I think I'm actually almost at the end. This was my mini challenge in the challenge. We'll see that at the end. But then you had to decorate your cover. So one of my charms is here. The other ones are here. This was my square. And then you had to decorate your cover with the items. So I have my oval My Dear Julie Julie digital is here, even though that's a Dear Julie Julie digital. I did stitch on the oval to get a little more texture. I did ink. I have dryer sheet. My round was this. Down here I have a cupcake holder. Inside of it I have a rectangle ticket. And after I had done that, I went ahead and I did add this die cut piece here. And this is one of the Dear Julie Julie images. And then from my stash, I have this square. It is attached, so it's not going to come off. I did also add some grass, and so it would be just like the grass that's in that there. It does say in the wind. Oh my gosh. This is from the Watercolor Ocean Kit. It was an extra kit that the Patreons received. It is available for sale in the Patreon. Or you can become a Ruby Patreon and you get it. It's in the Ruby Patreon. Okay. You open it up and I had this little bag here that's got places for you to put the things that you want to add. We've added some items here and I think we'll put them there. Okay. This was a square and I made a tag out of it. And so it's got a place to put things here, place here, and here. And you've got the two little pockets on the front. Okay. So we had to make a tag, a pocket, and a journaling card out of each of the shapes. So again, the shapes were square, round, or a circle, long strip, rectangle, and an oval. So you had 5 shapes and you had to make a tag, a journaling card, and a pocket out of each of those. So you're going to see those throughout. We also had to make a snippet. So I put one of the pieces of a snippet down here of the snippet and made it into a pocket. And then I added one of my clusters as a little tag in here. So we made 7 clusters. The other thing we did is I showed you how to fold Dear Julie Julie digitals and start off with almost all of your 12 pages of Dear Julie Julie digitals used up. And then we decorated them everything. So next I have a music page. And again, I was using all my scraps. This was from The Gathering. I had some cool buttons you're going to see throughout. One of the days I did transferring photos to fabric using the gel. Okay, so there's a video of transferring the digital onto fabric using matte gel. And so this was one of the images from the Friday freebie. Okay, so this was Friday freebie from 7-Eleven. That's the Friday freebie from 7-18. And then this is the Friday freebie from 7-25. So if you are wanting to do beach journal, you've got watercolor, you've got shells, and you've got rocks and more beach. Okay, and they all have words. And usually on Fridays I give a Bible verse. Somehow I forgot on that day. But yeah, so Friday freebies are available at patreon.com/DearJulieJulie. So check that out. So this is a little scrappy notebook. These are the pieces, you know, when your printer needs to align. And I stuck those in there. I did use the basic kit. So this is the basic kit. It's got maps, it's got pages, postcards, it's got all kinds of things in it. So another thing I used, this is from Beach Time. Okay, so this is from Beach Time, this is from Beach Time, this is from Beach Time. The seagull is from Beach Time as well. Okay. And that was the new kit this month. We have shells. Those are from the new kit. And then in the snippet, you'll see I used Beach Beauty pieces. So that's another kit that is in the Dear Julie Julie digital shop. And it is Antique Beach Beauties. I love this seagull. Here's my round journaling card. And this is the 6-pack that we folded. Okay, and I made it a tuck spot instead of closing it off and making a pocket, because when I was making it, I didn't know where it was going to fit. My 2 pages that I added in when I made my mini challenge in the challenge was the music page and the big squares. This is from Beach Beauties, so Antique Beach Beauties, as on the sea. I think that's from Beach Beauties also. This was from Cutoffs. So scraps of the napkin. I actually did a video where I showed you how I used the scraps of the napkin. This was in my scrap box. This is from the master board. So we made a master board, and then I gave you a template that had the square, the oval, a circle, but it wasn't. This was from the Patreon special beach one that I gave them. But in the group, I gave you a template, and we used that template to cut out the master board, and I've used it here in my my double tuck. Okay, next I have the envelope. There's one of my 7 clusters. This is my journaling card for long strips. So one of the things I did with the long strip was I made the cigar band there. I had this piece was in my scrap box, and then I added the Beach Beauty image. But then this is the other thing I did with the long strips. I put them on a paper, and now I've got this. Okay, so that was my journal card, and using long strips. So pretty much all of these embellishments have videos. So if you want to just put on my July challenge playlist, you're going to see how I made all these. You could, of course, run that at double time. Okay, now you're going to notice I have this really cool napkin behind this page. Okay, so this was napkin. I did add napkins. You can use any napkins in your challenge journal. I did just get these. I am putting together a little beach package, and I hope to have that for by Friday. You might see it before, but I will feature it in the Friday live video. Here's another piece of the snippet, and this is here as a little pocket. You can write on here, you can add things, but that is napkin. Lots of journaling space this time. I tried really hard. Beach Beauties page. This is a card that I have. You'll get that with those napkins when I put that together. It reminds me of me and my sister at the beach. Totally reminds me. So I added that to the back. And then this is part of my 6-pack. We've got this note paper that flips up, giving you a place to write. And then there's the seagull. And you've got this place to write. And you have a little belly band. And you have another tuck and a pocket. So there are places for you to add things. Here's one of the clusters, another one of the Beach Beauty images up there. And so then this was one of my favorite things that we made. This was my square pocket, and I did add in This image is from the At Home 2. So it's the second part of the At Home kits. And it has the cute kids that are stranded at the beach. And his little sailboat has fallen over. And so this was from a photo album. I love the way the little collage turned out down here with the shells and the cheesecloth. We also have, oh, that's right. So this has 2 of the oval pieces to give you a tab. And then this is a Bank of Happiness card. And underneath there is holly. And I didn't want to see the holly, so I put this here, and then this fits in here. This is actually from the basic Christmas kit. And so we'll put that in there. I love the way that turned out. And here's my oval card. And it's got whales and dolphins on it. And this was the oval piece so this is, the master board is underneath here. And then I use the word whale from the freebie. There's a napkin. That's one of the napkins. It's got the palm tree. This was my long strip tag. And it is matchbook style with scrappy notes. And so, and then it's got this fun little pocket. This is from the ephemera part of Beach Time. Okay, and then I used a piece of long strip here. I just love the way that turned out. And I did cut into this, and this is the wallet page. And I went ahead and put that in here, and it gave you all 4 of the cute the beach soap cards. Okay. Now there are pockets, three pockets here. I just put the cluster in that one. There's Beach Beauty stuff there again. And I did use lace from the dress that I had taken apart. Now my digitals, I do not use Photoshop. I do not alter so when people have written on them, even if it's like the price of the postcard or something, that is still on there. So all the blemishes are included. All of the items that I'm using to make my digitals, I actually own or have been given. So some of the digital pieces that I use, people have given them to me. And I actually have, they're physical items. So I'm not going out to one of the libraries and taking an image from there. I actually have this card, and I have this postcard in my collection. So, and then I use photographs that I've actually taken, or my daughter or my son with their permission. They have they've taken some pictures and sent me some pictures and go, Mom, you can use this. So here's another one of the transferred images, and it is a pocket on top of wallpaper. Wallpaper is a lot of fun to use. Some more of the napkin. We call this the cat page. So we all know and love cats, Kappa, and this is her favorite type of page that I make. And so I'll take one of the images that has a great, looks great as a background, and add the lined paper, giving you some place to write. And so when you hear me say cat page, this is cat page. And this was Katie upgraded her Patreon, and this was her welcome gift. So remember, as a paid Patreon, every time we get a new paid subscription, a new paid Patreon, I give them a welcome page, and everybody that's a paid Patreon at that time has access to it. So that was Katie. She made an upgrade, and so we did that. I had this in my scrap box, So I fixed it for this. And this was a scrap. And we add, I think that was, might have been a long strip. But this is from the ephemera. So there's a couple of really fun ephemera pages. Actually, there's a few, including the ovals and the little tuck spots and the little pockets. And then you get them smaller and smaller. This was an envelope. And I had taken it, and it's been coffee dyed. And I was like, you know what? I took it apart. I'm going to keep it apart so you can write in there. And then it has, we did this for the Friday freebie. So it has the shells. This is the shell page from the Beach Time Digital. Here I've taken the cluster and added a paper clip to it. It's got some fun things behind it. And then this was in my scrap box. This was from when I showed you this. This was like a gory picture from a Reader's Digest, an animal that had been unalived. And so I had showed you that you can collage on it. Well, the colors were perfect for this journal. Here I've got the cheesecloth, and you've seen it, and you'll see it more with the ... of the flat back pearls. This image is also from the, and as is this little goodie, okay, are from the Beach Time kit. And this is from the Antique Beach Beauties. So my cluster had a button, which was round. It had the index piece that was square, the rectangle, the ruffle was the long strip, and then I used 1 or 2 pieces for the oval. And actually, it also had the rectangle of that fun paper as a base. Okay, here's another one of the Friday freebie where I did transferred the image. And so that's the Jeff. And he's looking down at the bird. This was a Patreon gift from a few years ago. Okay, and it's got the cute little girl on a beach, and I added the lace here. And this is more of that. This is the scrap of the napkin. This is a postcard page. So this is a postcard flip folded page. This was my oval tag, and it's wrapping paper. So with the cute little image on it. So this image is from the Beach Time kit. Okay, so this is one of the folded pages, was a flip-up postcard page. This was my round pocket. It's got this image from the Antique Beach Beauties. It does have a place here that you can put something, and then it also has the pocket here. So here's another image from the Antique Beach Beauties, and it's there. I think the map is a great thing to use in I just think, when you're thinking of the ocean and from like the standpoint of being in a boat, I think of the map and then the looking glass. So that kind of all goes together. This image that I used here, and then you'll see it on a couple other things. It was from a quilting book. And so the other thing we were able to use was leftovers from making something. And so I had a whole little drawer, full of leftover beach items, and that quilted piece was in my leftover beach items. Okay, there's a napkin. Here's my masterboard rectangle. So this was the rectangle that was on the template. And then I added the rectangle, and I have my fun little, this is from the playing card. I call it the Julie Shelley playing card. So I just got a cover-up, and this was this was part of the packaging for the cover-up. So I put that in there. This is my rectangle, or it might be the oval. I don't know. But it's for the journal card. And it had that. That was a card with the really pretty shell. And so I put that on the inside. And then with the oval on the outside. And then the button just kind of goes over the top. I like the way that turned out. So this was also one of the folded pages. And so it is the flip up postcard pocket page bottom. Okay. So it goes on the bottom of a page, and this is the center of the signature. This was my Friday freebie, and I made a giant tag out of the shells. That was from last week. And then I did use some of the words, and I used a die cut. And then this was also from last week. And so it had the shells and Izzy. I did add another. So I took the paper clip. This was long after I made the clusters. And I was able to put the paper clip into the cluster and then have it hold something on the other side. So paper clips are a great way to add something in. And, you know, and you still have more room. So if you have a souvenir or something that you want to put in there, you can. So here's another one of the quilted page, and this was my oval journaling card. And I did add a little tiny oval here. And we've got the shells. And this was also a Dear Julie. I think it's in the Patreon. Digital. There are so many digitals in the Patreon, even if you are a the $3 opal level, because you have every welcome gift in there. You have at least one page every month. You usually have several that you receive. So again, this is another piece from the Patreon gift that they had there. This is my long strip from the masterboard, and then I added the shells and the ticket and this, and I added this piece behind it. And this is on the paper bag that I used for the mini challenge and the challenge that you'll see here in the back. This was a postcard, and that was in a Patreon gift that I got from Jessica at Paper Terrace. Here's another one of the images out of the book, and I had a whale card. So, but I took that and I've put it on here, and then I've put it in, and I let the whale come over and hang over. I love the way this turned out. This was my oval pocket, and I put it in here, and so it's a pocket. It's also a tuck. This was my round journaling card, and you've got a couple little things in one of the fun little tiny ephemera pockets. So you get these, you know, big, but you also get them small. And then you've got this back here. Okay, and that fits in my oval. And then over here I have a little tiny envelope with another one of those little index pieces. And I love the cheesecloth hanging off the edge, so you actually see that coming out of the book. I love that. I did add a pocket here with one of my scraps, and got the fabric, and this, I think I made this at the Friday freebie. This is the stamp. And, or I made it with the Friday freebie, the shell one. Okay, so this was another one of our folded page ideas. And I added this fun tag and the oval of the seagull. This is like a little tuck. This is from this week's Friday freebie. So you do have a place that you can put something there. And this is one of the transferred images, some of the cheesecloth and the pearl, and one of the words. And then this is a piece from this, like the sleeve. It's it's the seam actually, but it gave me a little bit, some more of the lace to come off the edge, just barely. Okay, and then here is my long strip pocket, and it opens up, and you have room to put whatever you want to in here. Okay, so it was long strip. And this one is tied on, so you don't lose your string. And then this one just ties through. And you end up with a pocket here and a pocket here. So we could go ahead and put that in there. Okay, so this was my long strip pocket. And then I think this is my rectangle card. And so... then you got this. Might have been an extra. There's my square from, this was scrap. So this is that template. I think it's the one that I gave to the Patreons that had the round seagull. And then I went ahead and there were holes from where the wallpaper, this is from a wallpaper book, and so I went ahead and put the blue fabric or trim that I've been using and added one of the clusters here. I made another paper clip. This one is using the transferred onto fabric lobster. I think this is my rectangle page. So the way that this worked with the shapes is you either started out with the shape or you ended with the shape. This one, both. It was a book page, and then I folded it up, made my favorite kind of pocket, and then added one of the pockets from the embellishment. This is from the Antique Beach Beauties kit. And then we have our mini challenge in the challenge. So each month we do the challenge, and then we have a mini challenge that we do, and we call it the gift component. And this time I was like, well, you could take and make one of these paper sack things, but make it look like they're opening a card. And when they open it, their present or their card can be inside here. And for our mini challenge, we did a waterfall. And then the papers that we used in it, we got to add into our journal. It was a way to add more papers. So I did this waterfall with the flip up, fold out. Okay, so you flip it up, and then you can fold this out, and you have all that journaling space. So I thought that was pretty cool. We also added, this was the cover of it, was scrapbook paper. So you got to use the rest of your scrapbook paper somewhere in your journal, and you got to add in another scrapbook paper if you wanted to. Okay, so that just goes in and comes down. And then I'm actually going to use this also as the closure for my book. So it doesn't need to close super tight. But there's my beautiful decoration. And I believe this was sent to me. I believe it came from Dawn. So thank you, Dawn. I finally got to use it. I've been saving it to use in a journal, and then the yo-yo came from Dorothy, and both of these were in this was in the scrap box. This was in my leftover beach box. And then I added tickets. So I was able to now use tickets in my journal, and I added a sticker. And so what this is going to do is I'm going to just use this. It'll come around and go around this. Okay. And that'll be my closure. And I like it better than what I was gonna do. Okay, so that is my challenge journal for July. It is finished. And so I would love to know, what was your favorite thing? If you are doing the challenge or you've done any of the projects in July, please share what is your favorite. And even go into the crafty community and share what is your favorite thing that you saw and you've done this month from this challenge. Also, just a little FYI. I mean, there's still, believe it or not, I think you could do the challenge if you started it today. I honestly believe you could. And if you just focused, on the challenge, just focus on the challenge, I think you can get it done. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for helping to keep me going in the month of July, and I hope you enjoy. Also, this journal is available as Golden Seabreeze in the Patreon, okay? And with the purchase of this journal, you also receive all the perks of opal, sapphire, ruby, diamond, and emerald. So including the emerald embellishment pack, you receive a embellishment pack, and you receive access to all the journals. You receive access to the codes for the discount codes. You receive the password and codes for Zoom, so you can join us on the Zoom calls. So I wanted to do that instead of putting this in the Etsy shop. That's why it's in the Patreon, is so you have access to all those digitals that I've made and put in there. And so it is a great package that you get along with the journal, if this is a journal that you wanted to have in your home. So again, it's called Golden Seabreeze. It's available at patreon.com/DearJulieJulie. I have digitals available in the Patreon, as well as over 180 digital kits available in the Etsy shop. So check that out. Find something to celebrate every day. Have an amazing day. I'll see you tomorrow. We have another beach journal to show you. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Oh, don't forget, if you finished your June journal, the VIP is Wednesday at 1 o'clock. And I put a sneak peek in the crafty community of what the VIP kit is. It's called Home Sweet Home, and it will be available on Wednesday for everybody. They're going to get it for free if they finish their June journal. Have a great day. Bye. Bye-bye. Here's another quick look at most of the Golden Seabreeze journal. Enjoy.